Hello, my friends, and welcome to your weekly tarot card reading. Let us see how we are going to manage our anxiety this week. I know last week was a little crazy for me. I would love to know how the reading went for you guys last week, and let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if the questions that we're asking too are working for you. Okay, because I'm always open to suggestions. So this week we're going to use the Cozy Witch Tarot deck, which is so cute. I've actually never read with this one before, so this will be fun for all of us. And I'm going to use the Sacred Medicine Oracle, and we'll see what they have to say. Okay, that one's really pretty too. I'm excited for that one. These are the backs of them. I know. I can't help it. I have an addiction to tarot cards and oracle cards. So I'm always going to show you what the pictures look like. Let's just see what is going to bring us anxiety this week, things that we need to look out for. And the first card is the moon. Isn't that one so pretty? So we're going to take time for reflection this week. And I have to be honest with you, I think that if you get too deep into your thoughts, that's what's going to be bringing the anxiety. So this week, monitoring what you're thinking about is really important. I always say that the only thing that we can control are our own thoughts. And in order to do that, we need to separate ourselves from our thoughts. Now, I know that that sounds really hard to do, but it's not. If you just sit there and notice what kind of thoughts are running through your head, this is a great week to try to do this, okay? Because it's going to be our own thoughts that really bring us that anxiety. So see what those are saying. So, when the brain is going or we start to feel anxiety, it's like the chicken or the egg. Is the body feeling the anxiety first, or are the things that you're thinking about making you feel anxious, right? So, if we start to feel anxiety, our brain is going to try to come up with why are we feeling that anxiety, right? So, I hate to say it, but our thoughts lie to us a lot. So keep in mind that not all your thoughts are true and you don't have to believe all of them. I think that this week coming up is going to be really important about that since it's kind of us that brings that anxiety. Now, the moon can also do with some motherly figures in your life. Okay. So watch out for that. Maybe those motherly figures will be coming to you with their issues or will be a little negative or derogatory at you, and that may bring you some anxiety this week. So take a peek for that as well, okay? And remember with the moon, what we see by the light of the moon is very different than what we see by the light of the sun. So things this week are going to be a little bit hidden, right? So that's where we look at our thoughts that could be lying to us, right? The deception a little bit. Of what is actually going on. So before you let your anxiety run away from you, just take a breath and take a moment. And I love that. And honestly, in this card, she is journaling. You know, a really good thing to do too, if you're feeling those thoughts are going a little crazy or you're nervous that you're not going to remember things, jot it down, have them at your bedside. Or I have like 50 notebooks that I write stuff in because once it's in my head, these wonderful ideas come in or these fears. I write them down and then they're not in my head anymore and I don't have to keep worrying about them. So that could be a really good option for you this week as well. Now we also get the Page of Swords. And you know what? To go with the moon, I kind of like that. I have to be honest with you because the Page of Swords is, um, I know a lot of people say that the pages can be children, and it can be. But I feel like in this reading, this is going to be a new way of thinking, right? Changing your mind about things can bring anxiety. Having new beliefs about things can bring anxiety. Can it be a child that is maybe having a little bit of shift in their own thoughts, bringing you anxiety? Absolutely. But know that it's curiosity, learning something new. School is starting really soon. So maybe the kids going back to school so it can be bringing you anxiety. Um, Maybe your kids are a little bit nervous. This young girl in this picture is reaching in, I love those, into one of those libraries, that people like share books and stuff, those little small libraries. I love those. I'm a book addict. Maybe sitting down and reading some books can be really calming to you and can be calming to your children, if that's what you're dealing with is with the younger kids. But maybe it's a good week for a self-help book this week, or any book that's just going to bring you happiness and joy. That's good enough too. And let's see, one more thing is the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords knights are always about changes, right? And we get the swords again. So I feel like a lot of our anxiety is going to be all up in our own noggin this week, right? Our thought processes. Um, Going after some new things, starting up some new ideas. The Knight of Swords can also be a little bit of an aggressive card, right? So I feel like things are going to be moving fast this week, maybe faster than you're comfortable with. And that is going to bring you anxiety. So keep an eye out for that. I feel like the anxiety that we're going to be dealing with this week is really going to be self created. And if it's self created, we can get ourselves out of it. So you are always in control of your own thoughts. Remember that. Okay. So we are going to also now do some cards. What is the universe's advice for us this week? I keep hearing get some ice cream, have some family time, have some friend time, go out and relax. As long as you're not lactose intolerant, go out and get some ice cream and enjoy the end of summer, right? Because we're coming to the um, end of summer, really. So, oh, it's so funny. We pull strawberry love. So the universe is saying, enjoy time together, enjoy the fruitfulness of the harvest time. Um, get some strawberry jam at your local farmer's market. Um, really spend some time nurturing yourself with that self love, right? Eat properly, get some good food in. I think you're going to need it this week just because, what we eat affects us, who we hang out affects us. So make sure that you're going to kind of dabble in the things that make you feel better, not worse. I'm not saying ditch your friends who might be going through a hard time, but maybe limit some exposure because the exposure in your own head right now is going to be kind of messy. So, misery loves company, but the more you talk about bad stuff and the more that swirls around, the more you perpetuate it. So, kind of surround yourself with some loving, happy, upbeat people this week. Okay. And love it. Rainbow activation. That is the cutest card. Authenticity. So this is a week to be truly kind to yourself and truly you. Now I'm keep thinking about where her hand placements are, and that's energy healing, right? So if you've studied Reiki, do a little Reiki on yourself. If you know somebody who needs it, do a little Reiki on them. Or you can just put your hands right on yourself and just send love to yourself. You don't need to have any certifications or anything like that. I know a lot of people will be mad at me for saying that, but I don't care. Because I'm authentically myself. So be true to you, be true to how you feel. And again, hanging out with those good people and giving yourself a little self-love and being able to raise your vibration a little bit. um you know we don't always have to save everybody, right? So stay with those higher vibration people. Your authenticity this week is going to be really important. Too, with this authenticity card, make sure that you are bringing your light to others and make sure that you are sharing your happiness and joy. As much as we always want to share our ills, what do you always hear about? I feel like crap today. This is going bad today. Blah, 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 blah. Try to really spread your joy. And if there's things that you can do for people, give it to them, right? Tell somebody they look nice today. Tell somebody that they're so smart. They did so good doing that job. Spreading a little joy is really important. Let's just pull one more card for that. And we get medicine bag. Okay. And this card is really cute. It's reminding me that bring a special talisman with you, maybe. If you're going through a tough time, have that worry stone in your pocket. Have that favorite necklace that you're always grabbing onto and kind of rubbing. I know I do that with mine too. It reminds me, um, what's important. That's one of the reasons I actually get tattoos, because when I see them, I'm reminded of who I am. And that goes back to that authenticity as well, right? Um, gather special things. If you see something nice that's in the store this week, pick it up for yourself. That goes right along with that love and that self-love, right? We can nurture ourselves with nice things. I personally love the Blessed Mother, so I'm always collecting rosary beads or little statues of the Blessed Mother, and I actually have a couple that you guys can't see. Those are also reminders that I'm not alone, right? So grab that reminder, keep it in your pocket, wear it around your neck, put it on your ears, doesn't matter what it is, but remember, the universe loves you, whatever God you believe in loves you, whatever religion loves you, you are not alone. You have people around you, and that spirituality is really important for people who have anxiety, right? I truly believe that our anxiety is calling us to a more spiritual level, and not a religious level, but just a more spiritual level, and whatever that means to you. Okay. So, okay. Now we're going to read a couple of cards. What are we letting go of this week? And I'm going to pull, one from each deck. So let's see what we're going to let go of this week. Cards are kind of sticky because they're so new. Oh, so this would be, well, I'll hold it up right for you guys. It's the zero card, so it would be the Fool, but in this deck, it's called the Cozy Witch. So it's in reverse, and this week we're going to not worry about doing new things. We're not going to worry about being the fool. We're not going to worry that we look new doing something, or we might look stupid doing something, right? Paired with that authenticity card, I think that you have to nurture the fact that you are who you are. And if people don't like you, who cares, right? Like what they think about you only affects you if you allow it to. So don't worry about feeling foolish. We're going to just swipe that right off the table this week. So if, with that medicine bag card, you find this big chunky necklace that you absolutely love, or it's your favorite scarf or something like that, and people are making fun of you for it, who cares? Right? There's always going to be people that like you, and there's always going to be a lot of people that don't like you. And that is fine. That is okay. Right? There's nobody in this world just like you, and we are not supposed to look like anybody else. We're not supposed to act like anybody else. We can only be us. And that is really, really important this week. Okay. And so that's really hitting home with looking at the beginning of the week of what's bringing us anxiety is our own thoughts, right? Worries about maybe what other people think about us. And you have to learn how to take that right off the table. You have, so I'm a chunky girl. If I walk down the street and somebody yelled out, "Hey, you fat BIT," right? Um, who cares? What they think is always a reflection on them and not on me, right? I'm perfectly fine with myself. I don't care. So don't worry about being a fool. Just, enjoy yourself, enjoy the people that are around you, and kind of maybe dabble in, who is authentically you, right? And why are you important? We are all here to bring gifts to the world. What gift do you bring? Don't try to follow the crowd. Don't try to be like everybody else. Oh God, especially nowadays, it's, you're in one side or the other. There's never any gray area. It drives me nuts, right? Like nobody can have a different opinion, and it doesn't matter which side it is. care. I've had so many people come at me because I have, feelings and thoughts and beliefs that are my own. And if you don't like that, that's okay. Like that's then don't hang out with me. I always like and I know that sounds so mean, right? But I kind of like it. It sounds terrible when people don't like me because that's cutting the just cutting the people out that I probably won't get along with. And that's great because people take up energy and people take up time, right? So, and I always find that, there's, let's just say it, those energy vampires out there that are always trying to, you know, take your energy or steal your light. And when you're authentically you, you're going to repel a lot of people. And good, because those aren't the people that you want. They're not your people, right? So, okay, what else are we going to like? That was a lot. I'm really sorry. I don't need to preach, but it took me a long time to be able to just say, you know what, this is who I am. If you don't like it, I'm not sorry. It just, then that's fine. Like you go over there and I'm going to do my thing with my people, and that's great. So we have, we're going to let go of sacred tears this week. I don't know if you can see it, but that's the card of expression. So this card, I love it. This is all about expressing yourself. And like, what did I just go on a tirade about, right? It's like totally being you. So if you have anything that you need to let go of, if you're holding on into any tears or any of emotions, having a good cry is like awesome. So my daughter and I, we will put on like the saddest music or the saddest movies, and we make what's called melancholy popcorn. And so good. It's marshmallows, brown sugar, and butter. And we have a good cry and we eat melancholy popcorn, right? And we just cleanse it and let it go. So this is a great week for doing that. Out with the old tears, let those emotions fly. You are worthy. You are here for a reason. So remember that. Showing your emotions, even though maybe people can, will think that your emotions aren't viable, right? Like you shouldn't feel that way, or somebody says, "Oh, you're too sensitive." Whatever, let them think what they want to think. You are allowed to have those expressions and those tears, not hurting somebody else. Like I don't mean just go up at somebody in the street and be like, and just kind of like, go at them. Because I'm a firm believer in like do no harm, right? I can think it about somebody, but unless they come at me, I'm not going to say it. I'm not that kind of person. But expressing yourself in the way that you need to, that's okay, right? And those deep feelings that you allow to come up can really cause a lot of healing. So we're going to just feel those feelings. The best way to do that is when those feelings come up and you don't shove them down anymore, right? So you're going to allow those feelings to come up. Your brain is going to come up with reasons and it's going to chatter away about why you're having these physical emotions. Just let those go. We don't have to believe those. We don't even have to think about them. We can just say thank you to our thoughts, because your thoughts are just trying to keep you safe, right? And it's always trying to be of assistance. Allow those thoughts to come up and then just sit with the sadness or sit with the depression or sit with the anger or overwhelm. And I just want you to feel it and allow yourself to really sink into that emotion and just say, like, take me, take me. And you will feel that emotion burn off. It's like electricity in our system. A really good book to look up is Letting Go by David Hawkins. I've learned so much with that, especially during my sound healing classes. And it's just really amazing. But so what we need to let go of is some deep seated emotions that you've been holding inside. It's time to clean that all out and do a good purge this week, right? And I think that those anxious thoughts coming up is going to be your clue that it's time to do that. And again, you don't have to like relive any traumatic events or anything like that. It's not about that, but just kind of sitting in that emotion. So I'll give you an example. I get panic attacks a lot, and especially when I'm driving. So I know a lot of people will just pull over and they freak out. I do not. I actually don't mind panic attacks because I've learned how to just let them wash over me. And I know it's my system just kind of getting rid of any excess, right? So I will just sink into them. My thoughts, the minute I hear in my head, you're going to die, I know I'm having a panic attack. I think the day that I don't hear you're going to die is probably the day that I need to worry. But when my brain says you're going to die, I'm going to say, okay, it's a panic attack. And so I just let that wash over me. And when we don't add fear to the fear, that is when all that energy can just kind of discharge and it kind of just flows away. I always cry during a panic attack, and that's okay. It just means that a lot of stuff was stuck. So allow yourself that this week, and it will bring a bit of calm. After a storm, there's always peace. Don't be afraid of the storms. Allow the storms to come up. Of course, if you need, mental health or anything like that, a therapist or something, talk to them first. I'm not saying that you should just do, but most of the time we can deal with a lot of these emotions and stuff on our own. I mean, how many times do you feel overwhelmed and you're just get mad at yourself because you feel overwhelmed? Don't allow yourself to feel overwhelmed. And then your head's going to say, you got 50 things to do and you're not doing them, good enough, or that's great. We're just going to let those thoughts, that's the mean girl in our heads. I always say we all have multiple personalities, right? Mean girl's yelling at me right now. So just take it down a notch, allow yourself to feel instead of think. And I think that letting that stuff go this week is going to be really important. I know it's everybody always does like the new year stuff, right? So we're, looking at New Year's resolutions and, I'm going to start new things, but I'm a firm believer in like end of month. What do we need to let go of? End of season, right? Just for today. I'm, every day is a brand new day. Let's let go of what we had yesterday. And today's a brand new day. How can we start fresh today? So just for today, I'm going to allow myself to feel those feelings. Just for today, I'm going to not believe those thoughts in my head, right? So I will leave you on that. I know this was a big chunky reading and it had a lot in it, but just know that this week you might be your own worst enemy, but also your own best friend. And just remember that not every day is a bad day. You got this. Okay. You have a great week, and I will see you all next week. And have a great one. Bye.